Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about some new details for Obi-Wan Kenobi and more. As always my dear Megalorians, before we dive into it, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. MakingStarWars.net have revealed some huge info for Obi-Wan Kenobi, including a big character reveal. In an article that reveals some exclusive plot details, their sources have given us a few ideas of what we can expect from the upcoming live-action series. And I must say, it sounds phenomenal. We'll go into depth about this in a moment, but let's start by talking about this big character. We all know from the initial cast announcement for Obi-Wan Kenobi that Moses Ingram was cast for the series, but until now, nobody knew which character she would be playing. While a few months ago she teased on Instagram that her character has a lightsaber, we didn't know if she would be playing a Sith or a Jedi. Well, MakingStarWars.net have finally confirmed that Ingram's character is a female Sith Inquisitor, although we're not too sure which one specifically. We learned from numerous leaks that Inquisitors would be playing a huge role in Obi-Wan Kenobi, with Sung Kang rumoured to be playing the fifth brother and Simone Kessel playing the seventh sister. Well, now we can add a third one to that list, with Moses Ingram set to portray a daring Inquisitor. This brand new info came from MakingStarWars.net, where they detail a key scene from the Kenobi series. Let's take a look at it now, and I warn you there are major spoilers ahead. Exclusive: Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi details on the first punch of the rematch of the century. Here we go, let's take a look at it. Sometimes it's hard to believe another Star Wars story with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader is upon us. Kathleen Kennedy famously promised it will deliver the rematch of the century. The fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan in episode 3 did not have Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader in the suit. That fight put him in the suit. A lot of fans wanted to see suited Darth Vader fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now they're delivering it in a big way. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. This quote no longer means what we used to think it meant. Obi-Wan Kenobi is still very much the master in this series, but the change in direction Obi-Wan takes after this story is why he allows his powers to fade. In the series, we're getting peak Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let me repeat that, guys. We're getting peak Obi-Wan Kenobi. So then we get some plot details, and this is going to be really interesting, but we'll talk about it after we've covered the article. Obi-Wan Kenobi is dispatched to a planet on a rescue mission. The captive prisoner is very important to the quote-unquote cause, and Kenobi has to save said person from the Inquisitor's clutches. And this, my friends, is where we get the big reveal that the Inquisitor is Moses Ingram. They say the main Inquisitor holding the prisoner was performed by Moses Ingram in these sequences. The success of this mission is most likely what brings Vader forward into action. And then we learn that Vader's castle is coming back. As matters escalate from the trouble Kenobi is causing, we see Mustafar again. Darth Vader rises from his throne and hurriedly walks to his ship's hangar to intercept his old master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Based on reference material, it appears as if Vader is using his TIE Advanced to depart the castle. It wasn't actually built on set, but it shares certain characteristics with the Inquisitor ships. And then we get some more cool details. Obi-Wan is wearing his clothes from episode 3 for the fight, or damn near close enough. The white tunic, no robe. Now naturally, as they mention, his white tunic is more worse for wear. He looks a bit older, a little more tattered. Like an aging gunslinger, his swagger remains the same as it ever was. When Kenobi walks out onto the dirt field, this is the guy that said Sith Lords are a speciality. And obviously a really big callback to when Obi-Wan fought Count Dooku with Anakin in episode 3. So then what happens is that Darth Vader steps onto the dirt ground. The costume, if I had to guess, is pretty much identical to Rogue One. I would almost say the chest plate is the same for sure, a little brighter. However, the lighting conditions and such made it hard to get a good read on the lens colour used for Darth Vader in this fight. Obi-Wan then realizes exactly who the monster is in the suit. Kenobi's resolve is strong and his face is so focused on the threat ahead. Darth Vader walks towards Kenobi ready to engage him, and that's when Obi-Wan Kenobi force pushes Darth Vader what looked like 50 feet in total. Hadouken, Vader is launched into the air as he hits what appears to be a rock wall. Like a Terminator taking a powerful hit, Vader slowly gets up and advances towards his moment of revenge. Now they also talk about the planets that this duel takes place on. The ground and rock formation looks like Jeddah, but they also say it could be Geonosis or even Tatooine. So that's pretty much the article, and there's so much to unpack. The good news is that Mustafar is back and we are getting more of Vader's castle like we saw in Rogue One, and we're also getting peak Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Revenge of the Sith outfit. He will of course be older, his clothes are going to be weathered, but it's an awesome callback. And I also want to say that this series is probably going to feel like a really good continuation of Revenge of the Sith, but it's also going to feel unique in its own way. The sequence on the whole sounds really epic, but I don't want to say too much until we have the full context of the series. We've got to bear in mind this is only a snippet, so judging it too heavily one way or another is a bit irresponsible. But from this article alone, I'm really pumped, especially at the bit where it says that Obi-Wan finally realizes who Vader is because he hasn't yet seen him in the suit. Going into the series at this point in the timeline, Obi-Wan has not seen Vader since their duel on Mustafar at the end of episode 3. Now, Obi-Wan realizing who Vader is when he sees him also makes a line from A New Hope finally makes sense when Obi-Wan tells Luke that Vader is more machine than man. Until now, we didn't know how Obi-Wan knew this since he hadn't seen Vader in the suit. But this series is finally going to explain that when Obi-Wan comes face to face with Vader. Truly a rematch of the century. Now, I also want to say that I tuned into the MakingStarWars.net podcast earlier, and they really put a lot of emphasis on just how powerful Obi-Wan is going to be. And we've seen in the past just how committed Ewan McGregor is when it comes to the lightsaber duel choreography and acrobatics. So what a treat we have in store next year. I think another really interesting part of this article is confirmation that Obi-Wan is leaving Tatooine. This is something that fans have always been divided about, and when the show was first announced, that old debate came back, with some fans stating Obi-Wan has to remain on the planet, with others disagreeing. But when they mention that he has to rescue a prisoner who is very important to the cause, I think it might be a very young Princess Leia. After all, she was rumoured to be a very important part of this series. So some really exciting stuff, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Is the Kenobi series starting to sound interesting to you? I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, so do not hesitate. As for the other details in this article, like what planet they're on, if it's Jeddah, Geonosis or Tatooine, we'll just have to find out when the show drops. Now, just before we go, guys, we do have another piece of news, and this is in relation to Star Wars Visions. The Art of Star Wars Visions, the book, is coming next year. Star Wars Visions ended up being very popular when it dropped in September, and now Dark Horse Comics is commemorating it with a book. This was revealed a few hours ago by Nerdist, who exclusively leaked that The Art of Star Wars Visions by Zach Davidson is going to come out next year. The official release date is April the 12th of 2022. So if you enjoyed Visions, you can look forward to that book, but we still don't know if we're going to get a season 2 of Visions. As some people pointed out, season 1 was sort of a tester for Lucasfilm to see what different studios could come up with and what ended up being popular, and the ones that really resonated with fans are probably the studios and style that they'll go for going forward. But that, my dear friends, brings us to the end of this news update. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Show me some love by giving me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are. But otherwise, my dear friends, may the force be with you. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.